Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. Today I'm going to show you how to do a shifter adjustment. So that if your shifter's been going in with a little bump or a little notch, that we call it a notchy shifter, or it's not finding its place into the different gears evenly and smoothly, then you may need to do a shifter adjustment. I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing, take all the junk out of your console, and we're going to remove these 4 screws to take the lid off. Here we go. Okay, that's off. This little cup holder thing makes a nice place to put your screws. Next thing, take these 2 little covers off from the back of the console. You can often get them off with just your finger. You can put a small screwdriver in there if you need to and easily pry them out. They're not in there very tight. Those 2 are 10 millimeter. That'll take them off. Just take your fingers and lift up on this cover that has the active handling and the passenger airbag connections to it. Just lift that out of there, and there's 2 connections here that are standard GM connections. You just use a little screwdriver or your fingernail if you've got a strong fingernail to take that off, and to take that one off down there. I don't have 3 hands, so I'm going to put the camera down and take them off. The little one you pry up, and the big one you press down. Okay, we get that off, and just place it on the side where your nut collection is. Press this little tab down here, and you can get your lighter wiring off. And now we've got 2 more 10 millimeters. 1, 2. I'm going to get a flashlight. I think I'm going to need it to show you some of this. Okay, once you have those 4 10 millimeters done and all the wiring disconnected, this part of the console, the back part, just pulls backwards and upwards a little bit, and you have to clear it around the seats, so you have to kind of turn it and twist it, and maybe put the seat forward a little bit, and that'll come out. Yeah, I just pushed the passenger seat forward a little bit, and now I'm getting this out. Now your next step for your shifter adjustment is to take this little ashtray out and to take that little panel off there that has the vents on it. So let me see if I can do this. Now I'm going to put the light out. Yeah, that's not good. There, I got a little bit of light on it. You just close the lid on this a little bit and pull on it. There. Be kind of gentle, easy on this stuff, otherwise you're going to break stuff, and you'll be buying parts that you don't need to buy. So now I've got some star Torx, small Torx screws. There's one right there, one next to the lighter, that's 2, and we're going to find one behind this panel here. Let's see if I can get that out. Yeah, there we go. There's number 3. So we're going to take those 3 Torx out. That's a number 15 Torx socket, a 1/4" drive socket that I'm using. So 15 Torx will get these out. Now the boot that covers up your shifter, you need to very gently pry that out. It's got little clips there. Let me give you a close-up. Yeah, see this little clip? If you pull up on this too hard, you're going to break those clips. You'll be buying a new boot. So take the boot up and then put it like sideways like that, so that this part of the console will come off around it. And then you just give this a wiggle like that. Wiggle it backwards, and I'm going to put the shifter back into 4th gear. That'll give me some more clearance. And here we go. Just tilting. Now we've got another connection back here for the lighter, so we got to unplug the lighter. It's the same as the other one, so I'm going to go off camera to unplug that lighter. Actually, it's not the same connection. It's got 2 little plastic ears that grab around. Let me show you. This is free now. Those ears grab around that metal cylinder, and that's what makes your connection for that lighter there. That's different than the other lighter. Now you've got your second part of your console going up into your radio, and your HVAC area is off. Okay? Let me show you a little bit about this. The shift knob does not actually have to come off to do a shifter alignment. You can take it off if you want to. There's a wedge underneath here. I'll show it. You can just pull this up out of the way. Now we're going to take these 4 nuts off. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to the shifter. Okay, those 4 nuts come off, and then this is a noise and heat insulation cover. It's rubber, and it snaps down onto a collar on the shifter assembly. So you just pull up on it and it will unsnap. It's not a real hard snap. It's just, you know, a rubber piece fitting into, well, it's actually fitting over another rubber piece. I've got some white grease in there to make it go on and off easy because I've done the shifter adjustment before. But anyway, now you're there. You're at the shifter adjustment area right here. Let me show you what we're going to do. Hold on. Alright, here's a factory service manual picture of the pin. It's called Shift Control Neutral Lock. This pin, it just stays right here, and usually it's in the up position. It has to be in the up position when you're driving the car. You put it down, and it positions the rod that goes back to the transaxle. It makes sure that that rod is positioned correctly for where the shifter goes down and moves the rod around. I'm not going to get into more detail than that. That's just a brief overview. I already told you you don't have to take the boot off. You can just peel it up. What I want to show you is, alright, you want the car in neutral. The parking brake can be on, that's fine. You push this pin down. It shouldn't go down that hard, but it should have some resistance. See, this little spline section is going to make it a tight fit when it goes down into this shaft. You loosen these 3, 1, 2, 3 bolts, and those are, I've used a T40, a Torx 40, to loosen them. When you tighten them up, you tighten them to 22 pound-feet. Right there, 22 pound-feet. So all you're doing is making sure the shifter is in alignment with the rod that goes back. I like to tighten these down a little bit at a time, and then maybe wiggle the shifter around and a little more, just kind of getting the slop out of it, because once you've got 25, 30, 40,000 miles on the car and more, there's some wear and tear that happens in the shifter where it connects to the rod that goes back to the transaxle. So this alignment is pretty critical. If you haven't done it in a year or two, I would definitely do it. It'll make your shifting smoother. So now I'll show you the real thing. There's the pin right there. I put a little plastic tie wrap on it. I probably didn't need to, but I just wanted to make sure it didn't drop down at all. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to drop the pin down, and then I got 1 there, 2 there, and 3 is the one down on the rod. So these 2 hold the shifter to the well, it's the torque tube, I guess. They hold the shifter to the torque tube, and then this one holds the rod to the shifter. Let me get in the car, give you a little better picture of that. Okay, yeah, this is better. There's the front one right there, and the back one that holds it to the torque tube, and there's the other one that holds it to the rod. I'm going to use a torque wrench. I suggest you use a torque wrench. 22 foot-pounds is not that much. So let's do this. Now I want you to look at where that pin is. It's all the way down to the bottom of its slot. Okay? So you want to, before you loosen up those 3 torques, put it down into the slot. It should go in there without too much difficulty. I just used an extension that I had, the half-inch drive extension, like an 8-inch extension, and I tapped on it with that. Don't bang on it hard. You'll break something. If it's not going in right, then something's out of alignment. Anyway, I've got it down. Now you see, now that I've got it down, you see how this is moving here? You can move that a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It's moving around because it's loose. So what I like to do, I already said, I like to snug them up a little bit. Those 2, and then the one on the shaft, and then I'll go back and snug them a little more, and the one on the shaft, just kind of getting it closer and closer until I get up to my 22 foot-pounds. I got to put this down so I can go through that. I'll probably go 3 passes. I put a little white grease on this. It's got a hard plastic ring that snaps down into this groove here, so I just put a little white grease on there to help it pop on there easier. Okay, I've got those all at 22, and I took a little screwdriver and I pried my pin back up, and that's it. That's your shifter adjustment. Now that it's all put back together, I can put it into gear first, or third, fourth, first, second, reverse. Try all your gears just to be sure, you know, but that's it. Now just reverse and put everything back together, and that's your shifter adjustment. If this helped you out, give me a thumbs up, for crying out loud. And if you want more from Froggy, subscribe to my channel. Froggy out. See you later.